Hello and welcome to my video about the CBBH course. I finished this course uh, about a bit ago, and I thought I would share my thoughts and experience about it. And hopefully, you guys can take something away if you're doing the course or if you're looking to get into a fairly intermediate, if not advanced, web attacking and penetration testing course. So, after I finished the course, they gave me this badge, and yeah, this course is a course from HackTheBox that if you do the exam for, it gets you certified in bug bounty hunting. And before I get into the course, it's very important to note that although HackTheBox is a very underrated source of certification, the courses on it are much higher quality than the certifications that are well known. So if you get my drift, I'm talking about, OffSec. And so that in mind, you really have to decide as to whether or not you're going to represent you're going to get a certification and do a course and represent a training provider that gives you effective and quality training, even though it's less known to the HRs of companies, or if you're just going to go, the most common route and go for the staple, if you will, penetration testing certifications that come from OffSec. And so that being said, HackTheBox itself as a platform is incredibly great at providing you with all the different avenues of training. You got HackTheBox Academy, which this course is on, and here you're going to find, a world of modules. These modules range from, tiers, the tier being, how advanced it is. And we also have, other categories like offensive and defensive. Say the offensive courses at the moment are much more, but there is a sufficient amount of defensive courses. And what's brand new is the purple teaming category, which they're going to be bringing out a lot more in 2025. And there's probably going to be a certification for that as well. After speaking to the folks at HackTheBox, they did kind of disclose to me that purple teaming is about to get big on HackTheBox, and yeah, it's gonna be great. So that's as to the kind of platform in general here on the Academy, and we also have the app HackTheBox, which is going to give you a kind of blind approach where you're not guided and you just hack a box as the website suggests. And there's also the CTF platform, which on there you're going to be, competing with other CTF participants to get more points. So yeah, HackTheBox is great, lots of different stuff. And then and so now let's get into the kind of the packed all-in-one courses or pathways. And so the bug bounty hunter pathway is one of them, but there's also the penetration tester pathway, the SOC analyst pathway, the senior web penetration tester pathway, which is what you're going to want to do after the CBBH pathway, and then the brand new Active Directory penetration tester pathway. It's a brand new pathway, but the modules in it were not brand new. They just took Active Directory modules on the platform and put it in this pathway. So let's get into the pathway itself and talk a little bit about what you're going to do and what you do in the course pathway. So at first they do kind of give you a few introductory modules in the course. However, you would never be able to sufficiently say you are prepared for this level of hacking. There's no kind of take this and then take that. you have to have the mindset of, I'm not going to know things, and I'm going to learn it on the spot, using critical researching skills and using external resources, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But basically, we have we have web requests, going to be basic introduction to web applications. And after these basic things, you're going to start with, the easy enumeration and attack methodologies. So we're looking at fuzzing, which is like, you got onto the target website. You want to see pages that they're not linking, they're not referencing, and they're not showing you exist. And so how do you see those hidden pages? You're going to use a tool called FUF, which is the best fuzzing tool in my opinion. And you're going to fuzz for hidden pages and directories recursively until you find some disclosures or something to advance your engagement. JavaScript deobfuscation. This is one of those times where I say, if you already have coding knowledge, that is really great for you, because for deobfuscation, you can just use tools like AI and whatnot, and actual tools on Kali to deobfuscate it. However, I'm speaking from a perspective of, when you're completely giving a full and critical analysis of a web application and providing to the customer remediation techniques, knowing code and knowing, hey, you know why this is insecure? Because you didn't employ this specific code. And not only that, but in the senior web penetration testing course that you do after this, you're going to be making POC scripts, and being able to know how to code and how to script gets you a long way. That being said, I didn't go into this course. Having a lot of code. I just did a few courses in Python, and that's kind of the majority of my coding experience going into cybersecurity. But I did take a JavaScript. I took a couple, web application coding courses on Solo Learn. But after taking them, I didn't feel much of a difference. I still kind of had the attack based approach and attack based mentality, where I'm not here to read code. I'm not here to make code. I'm here to find vulnerabilities and attack them, and that's what I'm going to do. And so understanding code, personally, I didn't have a lot of coding knowledge, but I'm just throwing that out there that if you do, it's going to be a huge advantage. And then we get into the kind of staple web application attacks: cross-site scripting, SQL injection fundamentals, SQL map. SQL map essentials is such a great module, because the great thing about HackTheBox is they don't kind of limit you. They don't set boundaries and tell you, no, this is the only way that you are supposed to attack. You only do it manually because manually means you understand it more. No, there's none of that. And there's no proctoring in their exams. You can go wild. You can make your own tools. You can find new tools that just came out and start using them to pass your exams or do your courses. And so that's what SQL map does, is it takes the SQL injection fundamentals that it gives you, and then it shows you how to automate everything in a way that personally, I don't think it's very timely for you to do manually. And so that's another great thing about this course. And then we have command injections. Command injections is one of those modules where I really had to take my time and do it. I did it like 2 or 3 times, and really understand why the different sets of characters in the command injections go together and add up to produce a successful injection. And so that's another thing about this course and about all of HackTheBox in general, is you have to take the material as, hey, this is what you are able to make of it. I'm going to give you this infrastructure. I'm going to give you a little bit of guidance, and I'm going to give you a capstone kind of ending practice test at the end that you can go wild on. And so if you as a learner say, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to do only what you tell me to do, and you just get it all done and like, oh, well, I'm done now move on, now time to move on, that's going to hinder your learning. And I learned that the hard way. After doing this the first time, I went to do some simulations, and I went to do some things to test my knowledge, and I was like, wait, I feel like I'm not familiar with anything. And so I had to come back and employ this mindset where I'm not here to get a flag. I'm not here to kind of I'm not here to get the points and move on so I can, finish in a timely manner. I have all these goals: 3 months CBBH, 3 months penetration testing, 3 months cloud. I'm here to learn, and however long that's gonna take, that's how long I'm gonna take. And so command injections was one of those things that taught me that and gave me a little bit of reason to employ that mindset. And then we have file upload attacks, which was a really fun module. If you're using Burp Suite, then this is going to be a really fun module for you. Just getting very exposed to how to like very intricately change the requests in order to get different injections to work. Like something like this where just a file upload, where you click upload, you attach a file, and then you upload it, is a request where you can use Burp Suite to change the actual code of the image to give you access to the target, which is like crazy. And yeah, that's why some of these modules are really fun to discover what is possible through cybersecurity. Server-side attacks, login brute forcing, broken authentication, web attacks, file inclusion. File inclusion, I'd say, is one of the most important, as it's something that I have come across the most in a lot of the web app attacking labs that I did. And so it's always good to capitalize and completely master the things that are the most common. And I'm gonna get into how you do that in a bit here. And then we have session security, web service, and API attacks, hacking WordPress. A very fun module, hacking WordPress, because all you really do is you know, use the WordPress attacking tool, which is pretty fun. I try to do things the way the other modules taught me and employ them into WordPress labs. And at the end of the day, there's some XSS, there's some kind of minuscule attacks, but the WordPress tool that is used to attack WordPress is what you're going to use mostly for WordPress, and that's what's taught here. As you can see, that's why it's called easy, I think, because all you do is use that tool. Then we have the bug bounty hunter process, kind of getting you prepared for the exam and utilizing all of this knowledge. So as to kind of how to master this stuff and not just kind of get by getting a beginner to intermediate understanding of web attacks. Well, firstly, we have to document our learning. We have to make reusable notes in order to use in our engagements. And so this is why I used Notion for this. And on Notion, what I do is, or what I did in this case is I made a table, a linkable table, meaning all of these link together. And then I link the module or the overall kind of section, which I made myself, through the modules. For example, here, passive recon. I link that to different tools that I got either in the course or in other external resources for learning, which I'll get into after this. So, for passive recon or any of these kind of pages, is the first thing I do is on the top here, as you can see, I have comments to kind of remind myself to build on this page when I get the time to. So, for in this case, I think I already did this, but, add commands, find search engine, automator, how to use Wayback. I don't think Wayback is on the exam at all, but yeah, like I said, when you're here, you're trying to learn everything, and you're trying to learn, in this case, web attacking. I'm not trying to learn web attacking based on what you're telling me web attacking is. I'm trying to learn web attacking and as much of web attacking as possible. And so, how to use Wayback, and then I have the table of contents, because during your engagements, you're not going to want to look through long pages of notes. You're going to want some way to quickly get to exactly where you want to go in order to get the information, the commands, whatever it is, and move forward in the engagement and use those commands. So that's why I have the table of contents first. And then here I made a map. It doesn't really apply that well in this case, but having a map at the beginning of the page helps a lot, because if it's an attack or exploit page, then you'll know the different attack paths using that exploit, and it's very useful. So then I have, sections of whatever it is. So in this case, passive recon, investigate the backend. What are they using? That means fuzzing for the extensions of the pages. Headers can disclose things as well about the infrastructure. Certain source code snippets to look at, and then cross-reference with the target, and just not things that I'm learning, not things that I'm reading off of my course material. No, not at all. The pages that you make whilst you're learning are pages that you can use on your engagement, on your target lab. You look at here, okay, what are the code snippets that can disclose things? And then you go to the target and you try to find that. It's not things that, okay, in this module, I did this, and then I did that, and then I used that. No, this is, I convert what was on the module into reusable information. So that's how the pages that are on here does. And then of course we have the tooling, and in the tooling, I connect all the for the tooling, I connect the tooling for the applicable section of the page. And I didn't do it here, but I would also reference the specific code on how to use the tooling, so that I can quickly just copy paste it into my terminal and use the command for the tooling. Social media analysis, obviously they don't teach you that in this, but I just felt like adding it to this because that is passive recon too. OPSEC stuff, web archive analysis, and yeah, so that's how the format of these pages go. And I made a page like that for every section: JavaScript, XSS, SQL, OS commands, file uploads. I did one for everything. So for example, let's see, file upload, like I said, again, table of contents. And then let's say I go to table of contents, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to upload this malicious file, but something is stopping me. Well, I didn't actually find a working MIME type yet. So I just go in here, table of contents, go fuzz for MIME type to see which MIME type works on this. I go on here, as you can see, a bunch of MIME types. I press copy, I paste it into Burp Sweep and Intruder, and then I fuzz for MIME types. And so that's what I mean by quickly reusing your notes. So other than documenting and writing notes, reusable stuff, I also recommend that you take a deep breath whilst you're doing the material and whilst you're doing labs, and take some time to organize what you're doing. And what I mean by organize is map it out. And mapping it out for me just did wonders because, you know, when you do something slowly and thoroughly, you start to not only have time to digest it in your brain, but also be able to see different connections that the course or the lab guide didn't even mention. And so I highly recommend you make maps on here. I use Draw.io, and I have these symbols. If you want my symbols or my maps or anything like that, just message me on LinkedIn. I'll throw in the LinkedIn link in the description. Just message me for that if you want it. But yeah, that's how I did. That's how I do all of my courses, not just this one. And I hope that you enjoyed or you learned something or that you got excited to do the course. It's a great course, and all content from Hack the Box has been great for me. And yeah, if you liked, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.